Hello and welcome to the guided meditation to help you reprogram counterproductive thought patterns. Before beginning, you should have written down a counterproductive thought pattern that might be limiting you from reaching your full potential. There are plenty of examples. I'm always broke. I hate my job. I'll never find a good guy or girl. I'm too fat. I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not smart. I'm useless. I'm going to mess this up. Pick one that you find yourself saying or thinking to yourself. If you don't have a directly negative thought affirmation, think of some area of your life that you would like to improve that might cause you anxiety. An example might be, I wish I was more optimistic in my interactions with others. We're about to reprogram these negative and questionable thoughts into something positive that will help you. Now, take a moment to set your headphones level and get comfortable. You can sit or lie in any position that allows you to maintain focus and mental clarity. Ideally, a straight back and chin parallel to the ground as you sit on the floor or in a chair will help the energy flow freely. If you aren't comfortable with that, you can lie down as long as you don't fall asleep. Also, for this meditation, you will want to have a pen and paper ready to take some notes as you go. You should keep your eyes closed for the visualization and feeling parts of the meditation, but you can open your eyes to write down notes as ideas come to you. Now let's take this opportunity to breathe deeply and raise our vibration level. Focus your attention on a few deep breaths and enjoy the cleansing feeling of simple breathing. Fill your body with fresh oxygen and let out any stagnant energy and carbon dioxide. Let's spend a moment to surround ourselves with positive white light and loving energy. This meditation is all about being positive and optimistic. To help us get on the right track, envision the powerful and loving white light in the center of Mother Earth. The Earth generates this loving light freely and enjoys sharing it with her inhabitants. Picture some of this white light streaming from the Earth and into you, filling your body with the pure and loving white light. The light continues to grow inside of you and radiate outward. You notice that this is creating an energy field of unconditional and positive love that surrounds you. The light is leading you toward your greatest good and higher self. Negative thought patterns have nothing to grasp in this powerful positive force field, and they are vaporized into more loving white light. You are protected and cleansed. Enjoy the feeling of the white light that now surrounds you for a moment before we begin. Even if you do nothing more from this point forward, you've already taken the first step to simply identify your negative thought pattern. Having negative thoughts is not a bad thing. Entertaining only positive thoughts is not wise, practical, or honest, especially when your well-being is at stake. Negative thoughts alert you to real issues and difficulties. They are opportunities for self-improvement and action. We do not want to simply suppress negative thoughts. They are trying to tell us something. However, it is important to have a balance between positive and negative thoughts. We're going to take the negative and turn it into the positive through this exercise. So first, let's understand how this negative thought pattern is holding you back. Take a moment to explore this thought. State the thought to yourself and then feel your body's reaction. How does it make you feel to hear this statement? How does it make your body feel? What are the conclusions this statement leads you to believe? Is your statement something that makes you feel good? Is it something you can harmonize with? Does the statement make you feel happy? If so, you could stop here. If you believe that this statement is totally good for you, then there's no reason to continue. Does it feel like this statement is counterproductive toward reaching your highest happiness? Does stating it make you feel sad or lacking something that you would like? Take one more moment to feel it. Feel the feelings that surface when you make the statement to yourself. Now, you can understand that stating it does not make you feel good or happy. Understand also that by merely stating it, you are reinforcing the idea behind it, and thus holding yourself back. You might at some point feel extra good if you succeed beyond your wildest expectations. However, if you feel bad all along the way, is it worth it? You can still plan for the worst while you expect the best. Take a moment to realize that you are creating this thought. Recognize that the thought is not creating you. It might feel like the thought is defining you, but that is only because you are allowing it by repeating it. Realize that thoughts are things, and that negative thoughts reinforce negative ideas. Now you have recognized the negative thought. You have recognized how it makes you feel, and you can see that it holds you back. You also realize that you have the ability to create thoughts that are positive or negative. This negative thought pattern isn't so big and bad after all, and it is already losing its power. Now let's take a moment to consider the source of this negative thought pattern. There was a time in your life when you didn't use this negative thought pattern, and then at some point you began using it. Spend a moment to search your heart to figure out where this pattern came from. Is there some belief or fear driving your thinking? Is there some experience a long time ago where you may have failed and let it define who you are? Is there a person who judged you as being this way whom you let define you? Take a moment to trace the source of this negative thought pattern. Perpetuating negative thought patterns can perpetuate a negative future. From the first moment you use this negative thought pattern, it might have negatively affected subsequent experiences, thus handicapping you. Can you think of subsequent experiences where you went into it with this thought pattern and it worked out in harmony with the thought pattern? Now realize that your past is merely a trail of dust, and that every thought and intention you put into the present moment defines who you are in the future. Also realize that any past failures have given you a better chance to succeed in the next iteration. Just as creating negative thought patterns has the ability to transform your future negatively, creating positive thought patterns has the ability to transform your future positively. So now let's start turning this statement into the positives. First off, write down at least one positive result to harmonizing with your negative statement. Write it in the past tense. For example, if your statement is, "I'm always broke," then your result would be, "I have had the opportunity to live a minimalist lifestyle." If it was, "I hate my job," then the positive is that There's a better job out there for me, and I realize this now. Or, I have been broadening my skill set here, and it will help me in my next job. If it is, I can't find my soulmate, then the response would be, I haven't found the right person for me yet, but this has allowed me to do other things until I do. If your thought is, I'm going to mess this up, the positive has become, I have gained an awareness that I should maintain awareness. Take a minute to write your own. What is something positive that has come out of the situation you are reinforcing with your negative thought? Be sure to write it in the past tense. Now, look at the positive aspect that has come with having this negative thought pattern for so long. Realize that in doing so, you have already learned the lesson, and your negative affirmation has served its purpose. Realize that this negative affirmation is a thing of the past, and now it is time to adopt an affirmation that takes you where you want to go, instead of away from it. Now on your paper, let's take your negative thought and write a positive affirmation that is on the same subject, but in line with your higher self and greatest good. If you consider your negative thought the worst case scenario, what would be the best case scenario? This one should be easy. It is the one that you want with your heart. It is the one that would help you reach your greatest good and highest potential. Take a moment to write this best case scenario out. Often, it might be as easy as replacing a word like bad with great, or broke with exploding with money. When you write it, do it in the present moment, with the present tense, as if it is already true. Also, don't write a double negative, like I'm not poor. Write out the best case scenario that aligns with your higher self and greatest good in the simplest way. Now take a moment to read and say your positive affirmation to yourself. Ask yourself if it would make you happy if it were true. Spend a few moments reviewing and tweaking your positive affirmation for a bit to word it precisely in the way that it makes you most happy if it were true. You can use grand words and shoot for the stars, or you can just keep it simple, whatever makes the most sense to you. What would make you happiest? Even if your mind is telling you that it's impossible, if it is something you feel would be for your greatest good, then go for it. There might be some blockages you feel right now, but we're going to work through those. Now that you have your positive affirmation, take a moment to clear your head and take a few deep breaths, exhaling slowly. Breathe deeply and clear your mind. Focus your attention on the air that is going into and out of your lungs. Watch your belly rise and fall. Feel the air on your upper lip as you breathe deeply and slowly. Now we're going to take a moment to say your new positive affirmation. You could say it to yourself, but it might help to say it out loud. When you say it, Notice what your body feels like. Notice if you feel a strain in any of your chakras or see any colors. Try to identify where you feel the blockage as you say the new positive affirmation. Go ahead now, say your new affirmation and feel it. Write down or simply feel where you feel the blockage when you say your new positive affirmation. Now continue to breathe deeply. Focus on the white light that is surrounding you and coursing through your body from Mother Earth below. Feel this white light that encompasses you and flows through you as you breathe. Say the positive affirmation once more and again notice the location of any blockage. Use the white light to clear the blockages. When you say your affirmation, you might still feel a blockage, but notice that the blockage is less the more you repeat your affirmation and focus on the white light flowing through you and clearing the blockage. Continue to breathe deeply. Feel the white light shining through, breaking up any blockage preventing you from realizing your positive affirmation. Say the positive affirmation again. Notice if there is still a blockage, and continue to clear it with the white light. One more time, as the white light pours through you, say your positive affirmation. Notice that the channel is clearer and you notice yourself becoming more receptive to the statement. Allow your higher self to harmonize with the positive statement. As you harmonize, notice that the statement becomes the new truth in your reality. Realize that we create our future path from our intention. Realize that we state our intention with our mind and with our mouth. Bring your attention to your heart chakra. Say your positive affirmation. Let your heart feel the goodness that comes with the feeling of this statement being true. As you harmonize with this positive statement and believe in your heart that it is the truth, it becomes the truth. Again, say your positive affirmation and harmonize with it for a moment. Let it become the truth. Your statement is the truth. As you begin to perceive this positive affirmation as the truth, you can feel the physical reality changing to match your perception. Say the affirmation to yourself a few times and harmonize with it. It helps to say it out loud as well. Each time you say it, you wash away the old outdated affirmation and create a new and positive affirmation towards your greatest good and happiness. Take some more time to repeat the positive affirmation. Now take a moment to visualize some outcomes of your positive affirmation. If your affirmation is, "I have found my soulmate," then envision the situation where you are with your soulmate. Envision what they look like or their characteristics. If your affirmation is, "I am very financially well off," then envision what you are doing with all the money you have. Whatever your affirmation is, take a moment to envision the affirmation manifesting on the physical plane. Your affirmation is the new truth. What does it feel like? Explore this deeply. Now that you have harmonized and envisioned how this new affirmation can help you, you should remember this affirmation for future use. Anytime you think about saying your old, outdated, and false affirmation that brings out negativity, your mind should immediately redirect to the new affirmation, like a web browser going from an outdated website to a new version. The new affirmation is the new truth. This should be automatic. Anytime an urge comes for the old affirmation, simply redirect to the new affirmation, breathing deeply and feeling the outcome of the new affirmation with your entire being. Say the new affirmation out loud, clear the blockages if they return, and continue to reprogram your DNA as needed to fulfill the affirmation, which is already true because of your belief and intention.